Yeah, of course I can speak about the time in Africa. We have all kinds of projects going on in Africa, and not just in Africa, but all over the world. And we work with indigenous people, people who have felt separate from the rest of the nation in some way. And one of the projects that we have is the Pillow Papa Train Project. And that is a health train. And on it is a medical doctor, and there is a psychiatrist, and a surgery, and also journey practitioners. And what happens is this health train goes into villages where they could not afford to have medical support. And it pulls into a village, and the people from the village can then board the train. And if they have a medical problem, they can have surgery, operations done on board the train. If they have a mental challenge, then they can go see the psychiatrist. And if they have some sort of emotional shutdown, then they can board the train and get a journey process with a journey practitioner. And once the train leaves, then a whole bunch of journey practitioners come to the village, and they teach the teachers the journey process. And so the students, at the behest of the Ministry for Education, are getting a journey process once a week. And so this is one of the projects that we work with. We also work with children who've lost their parents to AIDS. And there's a very large ghetto it's called Alexandria. And Alexandria is, and we've also done teen work with kids, getting them off the streets from drugs and alcohol. And with this project, we help the children. We found these between 300 and 500 children were meeting in a church and only getting 2 meals a week. The grandmothers from the community were trying to somehow give them food, and the children themselves had lost both their parents to AIDS. And so, obviously the first thing that had to happen is the children had to first find a way to get fed. And so we and many other organizations got together and started making sure these children got meals. But after that was done, we needed to deal with the trauma of what had happened to these kids, being abandoned in this way, losing their parents in this way, and help them clear all the pain of the past and reopen to the joy, the innocence, the beauty that is the essential nature of children. And we also have projects going on in prison. And there's this one prison in Durban where the women, and they're of an Asian background, they go into this prison, and the women there have been incarcerated for life. So they have had crimes happen. Well, they will never be allowed to ever leave prison. And there was this one woman who had been in prison for 14 years, and she had beautiful children, and her husband kept beating her children. And one time she tried to stop him from really short of killing one of her children, and she ended up killing her husband. And so she has been put in prison for life. And she knows that she will never get out. Now, while in prison, she got hepatitis C, which is the degenerative form of hepatitis. And when she had her tests done in prison, it was in the thousands. Her blood test done, it was in the thousands in terms of the numbers. And the journey practitioner came to prison and began doing journey work with this woman. And she had 3 processes done over 3 months. And when they took her blood tests after she had her processes, she had been diagnosed as having normal blood, completely free from the hepatitis. She was diagnosed as medically cured. But she said to me, "Brandon, all my life, I lived behind prison walls. Before I came into this prison, I was never free. Now I am in prison, and I'm finally free. And though I will never leave these walls and never be able to hold my children again," she said, "I found a freedom inside myself." And this is what I pray for all of us, is that we use these tools to find this freedom inside ourselves, to heal the body, to heal the heart, to find our way back home to the love that is our own nature, and to begin living our life from this love.
Kann man jede Krankheit mit Journey Process heilen? Also AIDS zum Beispiel. Gab es schon mal Beispiele?
So, in almost every case, there are people who have healed using the journey process with physical illness. And the journey process doesn't work in every instance, and yet in every case, in AIDS we have many, many people who have healed using the journey process with cancer, with tumors, with eczema, with allergies, with Crohn's disease, with depression, with bones, issues with the bones, you know, it's nerves. And it is possible for the body to heal. There's a huge healing potential stored inside the body. And it's possible to get access to this and undergo a healing process. And the journey process is not the way. It is a way for all of us to participate in our own healing process, to get access to the consciousness that was part of what co-created the illness in the first place. And when we get access to that consciousness and go through a process of releasing and letting go, it's then that the body is able then to go through its own process of healing. And this journey process is used alongside all kinds of other process work. I mean, medical doctors will use it right alongside chemotherapy. And I always say not to give up your own healing path, but instead use the journey alongside. Whatever your choice of healing is, however it is you feel is the appropriate way for you to undergo your healing path, be it with the medical field, be it alternatively, however you do that, you can always use the journey alongside. Freedom can only help you. It can never hurt you to forgive, to let go, to take the lampshade off and to recognize the love that you are.